there has been a demand from COVID, right? And you mentioned that, people started to take family pictures seriously. Listen, so I want to be in the mind of Mr. Chris right now. Mr. Chris is a businessman, and he has created a solution that can take pictures. That means we have moved photography into tech. This is it. Over time, tech is going to improve. It's AI. It will improve every day. Do you think that Mr. Chris right now is not sitting in his corner say, I want to make smaller version of this thing and put in people's house so that they don't even have to call a photographer to take pictures? The thing is just in their house. It will take pictures and print it themselves. Mr. Chris, do you think that technology is going to take our place very soon?
Great question. Fortunately for most of us in this room, technology has shown that it cannot replace the human touch in certain things. I'll give you a couple of examples. The first example I'll give you is the one I had as a child. My parents, we grew up for 10 years in America. At the time, they launched the microwave oven. And the advertising we saw about the microwave oven was that very soon, all restaurants would close down because people could take their food to work cold and microwave it at work and get hot food. So there's no longer a need to go to a restaurant. But that didn't happen. People still went to restaurants because going to a restaurant is more than just the food. They've invented televisions. There's some TVs now. I've been to a friend of mine's house. His TV is bigger than this one in his house. But I still see him and his wife going to cinema. But they still go to the cinema. I know people who are great cooks. Great cooks. They're having a party, they call a caterer. Do you understand? So people have gotten used to, hey, when it comes to certain things, let a professional handle it. People are comfortable paying for that. People even call event planners. When they know the way to buy cook, they know the way to buy rice, but they want someone to put it together and save them the hassle. So the photographer's future in obligatory images is secure. The photographer's future in consumer feel-good images is dead. I told you before that already. That will the customer will take a selfie and solve that problem. But the obligatory pictures, the person is there. The second thing I want to quickly go to, just to help you, those of you who have become scared to death of the prices of cameras. You see, one of the very big mistakes a lot of photographers make, even in my company, I have our photographers say, MD, I went to this functional, the guy sits shooting next to me was using a mirrorless camera. Me, I was using a 5D Mark. I said, are you crazy? He said, why do I say that, sir? I said, are you mental? He said, no, sir. Why are you looking at the photographer next to you? The customer does not know the difference between a 5D Mark 9 or a 3D Mark II or a Z. That's not the customer's business. When you go to Chicken Republic to eat, or you go to Sweet Sensation to eat, you don't ask, come, that fryer that's frying the food, is it the latest XYZ fryer? You don't ask that question. You are not in business for the guy next to you. You're in business to serve the customer. And in 99% of the times, your customer is not a professional. Do you understand? So don't get caught in the trap of believing you must upgrade your equipment because your neighbor's equipment is looking bigger than your own. Ask yourself, first of all, who are you serving? If you're serving the market of family, the family photography market, in 99.99% of family photography market will not enlarge beyond a 36 by 48. 99.99%. That 99.99%, no human eye alive can see the difference in resolution of a 40D Canon and a 5D Mark, whatever Canon. The resolution is essentially the same. All the work done on post-production, which is on the computer, can bring you what you want. Second thing for you guys, anybody new in photography, please, we started photography with an AE1 second-hand camera. We couldn't afford to buy brand new cameras. Most of you cannot afford brand new cameras. I bought my second-hand cameras from abroad because I knew people there were more careful with their cameras. If you can't afford new, buy second-hand. Find somebody who can send it to you. Buy second-hand. You'll get a second-hand camera at a fraction of the price of a brand new one. Start somewhere. Your images will be sellable. As time goes on and your craft is growing and you feel like you're a techie, you want to have the latest tech, by all means do so. But don't build your business on expensive gear that you can't afford. It's the surest way to bankruptcy. Because after that, next year, they'll bring out a new one, and a new one, and a new one. Sorry, Nikon people, we can vex. I'm not spoiling your craft. I'm just telling these guys the truth because maybe they don't go borrow money now, go the entire debt. All right.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So what copies your work? How do you cope? What exactly do you do? Thank you.
Okay. So who are you directing your question to? Okay. Do we still have Mr. Akim with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Please, can she take that question again, or you heard it?
Yeah, I heard her. She's talking about how you cope with people copying your images.
Yes, please go ahead. Yes.
Well, majority of the time, we believe that if you put watermark on your images and people will not be able to copy it and all of that. What I do personally, let me tell you what I do personally. I create images that are my cash cows and I don't share them online. I have images I share online. Anyone that I share online, just be sure that if anybody picks it, is picking not a very high resolution image. And at the same time, I don't feel so bothered because it's in a way also trying to, get people inspired by what we do and what other photographers do. We all do it. We see images online and we take them not for us to go and reproduce for anything, just to serve as inspiration. For me personally, what I cannot lose, what I feel that is so important to me, I don't put them online. If you see my image online, I believe it's something that I want in a public space. So it's not something that I'm so concerned about that I'll feel like, oh, well, you have taken. I've seen several times, I've been to so many places that my images are serving as their signpost and all of that. But then I don't feel bad about it because it's also in another way trying to make other people feel good by having some of the things that I do that they cannot afford. But the ones that I want for myself, you can never find them online. That's what I've said. So if you have something that you don't want to lose, so please don't put them online.
All right.
This is a quick one that will help you guys understand something very important for your business. First of all, Sakim is talking about images that are like art photography that people would copy and use casually. That's art photography. Then you have commissioned work. Yes. Commissioned work where a family comes to you and says, or a person says, take my image and shoot a picture of me. Now, when you have commissioned work, it's like if you're shooting a family, your main challenge for all of you here is, those of you who don't know it already, is realizing that the image you've captured of the family even though you've given them the image, it doesn't give them the automatic right to exploit or create other images from that image without your permission. Do you understand? You see, it's hard to enforce in our country, but recognizing that that right is yours, and by the time we have our guild and our association together, no photographer would recopy or retouch or act on an image knowing fully well that he hasn't gotten the permission from the original author. That will bring, imagine the kind of money that will come when people hold back from doing that illegal service. All right, thank you.
Can I say one more thing?
Please go ahead.
Okay, I will give you another instance, just following the cue on what Mr. Oputa just said. I did a photo for someone. Yeah, I'm just talking about copyrights and all of that now. I did a photo session with a model who took those pictures abroad for a portfolio. And then she printed those pictures from a commercial lab. But unfortunately, the pictures were not released to her. They told her in plain language that she should get a permission, a letter permitting her to use those images from the photographer that took them. So she contacted me and I sent her a message on Facebook that, okay, go ahead, you can use, you have my permission to go. But in spite of that, the lab still did not give her the images. They said to her that the consent must come as a letter, in a form of a letter on my letterheaded paper, signed longhand and sent to them. So that's what I did for her to be able to have the printed images that I did for her. Now, in Nigeria, you will discover that there are people who call themselves graphic artists. They pick your images up online. They're supposed to be in the creative industry like us. They pick your images up, they use them without reference to you. Some people will even have, okay, I'll give you another example if I'm not taking too much time. I went for an event in Ghana. It was a fashion show, jewelry and all of that. On getting to the venue of the event, the banner they did for the event had my image on it. They took one of my images, blew it up so much and used the image for their. That was done by graphic artists. The graphic artists um, did not have any issues at all, taking somebody else's creative work just so that he can feel good. So, like he said, if we have a guild, we are sure that whatever is coming out of us is also protected, and the other creative in the industry will not take us for granted because they know the law is not on their side. Thank you.
I know that we all know that this section is going to take forever if we continue, right? So I'm going to stop the section right now and I'm going to take these questions. I'll try as much as possible to get their mails. If we send you a mail, will you respond? Almost immediately, right? But then we are going to get the Egmont. Thank you. Can we say thank you to all of them? Say thank you.